place for the youth. And we were not even thinking of ourselves because we were already like going towards our 20s, but for the future generations to come. And also a place where children can feel safe partying, because otherwise if you go out, Pondy or elsewhere, coming back is always a risk. No, you can have an accident, whatever. So we thought it would be important that it's in the city area, but we never thought we would get land in the city area. And then we started the project, so interviewing the youth, what do you want, etc., and what are your dreams and ideas. Then we had to find an architect that made the plans. We had to build up a whole project, because you don't just get a piece of land like that. So we worked a long time on that. We found a young German architect at the time who was volunteering here, who did everything for free, which was great because we didn't have any money. And then once we finished that project, we were super surprised to get from Luigi land right in the center. We couldn't believe it, but we're like, okay, great. We thought they would give us something completely on the outskirts so we don't bother anyone. And and so 96 we finally got the land, and that's the year then I left to Europe to study and work. So I actually was not here for the beginning of the YC. Mm-hmm.
Different from other places. It's unique in its form, in that it's run by young adults in a country of all units being run by really old people. And that gives it a lot of color.
And twice. One more time. Then only the ladies. Only the ladies. Front and back. And the boys. And now the boys turn to their left and are going to turn with the ladies. And turn and turn and turn. Sweep, sweep. And now promenade. Promenade, yes. Look at the rivolino. Super. And you back your lady on the right.
There's music, there's festivals, and in that sense also it's a space where the youth can host the rest of Auroville. So I think most people in Auroville know it because there's an annual fair around Christmas, and then this whole place is flooded with people with stalls and exchange and markets and so forth. So it offers spaces for other than youth as well.
I have the picture of like literally youth center full of young people, and not to, not just to have fun, but also to talk, to discuss, to share how we feel and what we want in life and how we want this world to change for the better,
Based on that. So you can't just negate overnight.
We have had meetings that was called the Night Conscious Learning that we started in 2019. Lucrezia's initiative first, and then I just carried it forward because I was more involved in youth center that time. And beautiful meetings, like some were good, some were bad, but I would say it really had a greater impact on the people living over here. Then you would get to see youth center, what it stands for, Auroville. I would say that one value which is just amazing, and I think I've never explored it anywhere else, freedom. The amount of freedom that you have, which can be good and which can be bad. And I think to develop yourself completely as a responsible human being in the society, you need to explore both good and bad sides of freedom. So freedom is something which I really, really cherish in youth center. You can pick up anything, you can do anything.
Wait, one sec.
No, leave it, man. I just want to put it more.
I mean, it's also a learning process, no? I mean, that's what the whole place is about. It's like you learn how to deal with situations, and it really made me what I am today, you know? And I really I learned so much from this place. And then, I also have a nursery, which is more like my personal hobby, like grow palm trees. I mean, I've been doing it since 2006. So I just try to collect many different seeds and plant them, especially also local trees and all. There's one which is very special. It only flowers like once in its lifetime, and it's a big palm tree. So that's how I got into it. And now I'm more also trying to collect exotic species, but the main thing is to keep that particular species. I want to establish them again, in Auroville also.
Youth Center is hosted by a forest called the Bliss Forest, and the partnership they had at that time with the Bliss Forest and Youth Center was Youth Center is gonna also involve themselves in taking care of the Bliss Forest and planting trees and trimming trees and digging holes to bring in an understanding of what nature is all about, of what forestry is all about, and what this bioregion is all about, and at the same time acknowledge what our ancestors have done to make Auroville possible.
கிட்டத்தட்ட 22 வருஷத்துக்கு இங்கே வேலை செய்கிறோம் பிளிஸ் ஃபாரஸ்ட்டில். கன்று நடுறது, கன்று குழி நோண்டுற வேலை, வேலி நடுற வேலை, முள் ஃபாரஸ்ட் ஒன்றில் இருக்கிற முள்ளெலாம் க்ளீன் பண்ணுற வேலை. அப்புறம் வெயில் டைமில் சில டைமில் காஞ்சி போன மரம் வெட்டுற வேலை. அப்படி 3 மாதத்துக்கு மாற்றி ரெயின் டைமில் பிளான்டிங், பழம் நோண்டுற வேலை, கன்று நடுற வேலை அதுபோல் செய்வோம். வெயில் டைமில் தண்ணி ஊற்றுற வேலை கண்ணுக்கு. அதுமாரி வேலை. பட் ஆனால் 3 மாதம் மழை டைமுக்கு வேறு மாதிரியான வேலை, வெயில் டைமில் வேறு மாதிரியான வேலை. எல்லாம் 3 மாதம் மாற்றி வேலை செய்கிற மாதிரி.
Oh, I'm without a t-shirt. Don't film me.
This is your working.
Illuminati superstar.
Let the people know you are working. You without the t-shirt.
Okay, follow.
Give you follow that.
The majority of kids or students of our age are very much onto their phones, internet, gaming, and it's difficult to get them detached from that to the nature, to the real world. And once they love it, I think they'll start joining and full power.
Yeah, it's very grounding to work and to do. It's very grounding.
I guess it could be both a natural process with the personal interest from the youth, as well as, you know, some involvement from the YC crew where we can try to help them find that interest, which they might not yet know about. Like, for example, gardening or metalworks or carpentry, and it's all here. Just need to make it happen.
Of the things that I do today and the way I do them through the YC. And so yeah, it's really given me an opportunity to really get into life with your hands and in the mud. And I don't know, if there wouldn't have been a space like this, I don't know how I would have turned out. But yeah, it's definitely very beautiful and important part of my life when I was here.
You know, when you choose to take action, the means will manifest themselves.
They have no money at all. Very lot of hops. Okay, it's beautiful. Do you have some questions? The moment if you have to question, we need to be more interactive.
You're not here at 9 tomorrow morning.
Really, I have to tell you, she said to you that she will have contact with TDC, through divine consciousness. You tell me last time when I asked you, I said,
still am a very expressive child. And I think it's definitely strongly linked with doing theatre, because it always felt like we were kind of rehearsing or performing or doing something. And I think that's hugely linked to public speaking or I mean any form of performance, really, not just theatre. And that's definitely what I think YC and being in the youth centre and getting to do these things with the people that were here at the time, but also the people of my own age who felt in that same kind of wave of confidence and ease and freedom to express themselves. So that was a big inspiration. Space to explore what you're interested in, and also a safe space for young people. So be that safe to express and explore what your ideas, but also safe to look after each other and respect yourself as a person and respect other people. I think that's a really important aspect of what it is. And yeah, I think maybe for me the most important thing is that I would try and describe it as a playground, so that it's a place for creativity to happen, for young people to come together and make things or learn things or just spend time together and socialize, but in a kind of in a creative way.
because we look smart and act dangerous? Why do the rich get more and more, while everybody else gets poorer and poorer? Weren't we born equal on planet Earth? Or does money now determine what our life is worth? Don't you lie the way we're going. Follow the green Silk Road.
Auroville as a community, I think, struggles to value the youth center as a community sometimes, you know? But then when it really comes down to it and there's Christmas fairs, everyone's here. It's a great big thing. Commercial units, businesses, they all want to come and sell their thing and be part of the fun and, you know, see people happy and all these funky games and plays from the kids and all of that. And so it's valued to a certain extent, but then when push comes to shove, it's sort of, there's not a lot of voice from the community at large. There's a voice from a select number of young people who have been driving the place for, you know, a long time. And that can be challenging because it's a bit complex. And I guess there had been like this, it could be habitual now, like political groups in Auroville that want to, or whatever bureaucrat, you know, the working committee and the council, basically, is all. I can go into names or whatever, but yeah, it's basically just those two groups that it might be out of habit now. I really don't know, because when I went and had a meeting in the working committee the other day, everybody was happy to hear about the things that were going on in YC. They're like, why don't you ever invite us? And I was like, well, okay, good point, I will. You know, and so I started sending them personal emails about things and never got a response, and they never really came. But I noticed that there was this, like, yeah, like I said, like it could be just a habit to not like YC or to point a finger at YC. And it's not anymore like backed up by very much substance, except for a couple of little things that could be then amplified. But it's not like the YC as a whole is being dissed as much out of real opinion rather than just like an inherited opinion. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so now I feel like the battle with YC and working groups is more to like break that inherited opinion within working groups, because people pass them down to the people who come. And yeah, of course, every report written on YC that's not good will relate to the next report that's written on YC that's not good. So in a way that's also passed down. But yeah, positive psychology will just reinforce the good things, and then the bad things will become smaller.
What people can see around here is structures like tree houses that people have built mainly by themselves, which I think is quite unique. It's not very common that young people get the space to just, you know, tinker and build and make stuff. So I think that's very, yeah, it categorizes the youth center. It's a space which is open to a lot of creativity. Yeah, sometimes people need to learn how to use that space as well.
How's it going, Shiva? How was life, Shiva? I wish I could fly.
Yo, Macha. Yeah. What's up?
Shiva Macha.
Good.
Shiva Macha.
Yeah,
Macha.
You need help?
I moved here and I decided to live in youth center in a tree house, and I decided to do so because I was really scared of being in the nature with so many animals around, and And so I saw the opportunity to actually explore the wildness, and YC is the perfect space for that.
It was my first time living completely on my own. This was when I was 18, completely, like even financially, and it was hard for me how to keep my house clean, like the most basic things, you know. As a young girl, it was a bit like, shit, I don't know what to do. And all these people, like, of course, at some point, you know, they're like parents. They're more than anything. They're like guardians. They're like, oh, so, you know, keep yourself clean, do this, do that. Come on, come here, help us with pizza. And I felt like I needed that push. And I'm very, very grateful to YC and everyone here in YC that really pushed me to become, you know, a woman from a little girl.
You know, like our awareness is growing. You talk to a 12-year-old now and you talk to a 12-year-old in Auroville 20 years ago, and there's a completely different perception of what's going on around them, you know? And that means that, yeah, our awareness is growing to a certain extent. Our interests are probably going to be changing. Our ability to analyze our social environment is increased, right? So then you come into the youth center and suddenly things that were normal 20 years ago or 15 years ago are not normal or acceptable anymore because people are becoming more aware of them. For example, if somebody comes here and drinks and then, you know, if somebody comes here and starts insulting you violently or threatening you, that used to be a normal way of communicating. It's like, oh yeah, they're doing that again, whatever, it's normal. Now it's like, no, stop it. That's not okay. You're creating an environment, but when you do that. And so we're all becoming more and more conscious of the fact that each one of us provides something to the collective environment, and it needs to be something proactive and good. Otherwise, this place will crash or go through another down wave, right?
A person who might be interested in adding to a space, it gives a lot of chance, because you feel like it's, you know, it's something moldable to your energy.
I mean, it pretty much started all after the cyclone, I think, in 2011. That's really when I started like my project, you know, which was like rebuilding the house which got blown over during the cyclone, you know. So that was like one big challenge which I took on me. So yeah, I pretty much decided to, I mean, I was pretty much just left with a platform and I decided to build it up again, you know. But the challenge I took on my own was to build it by myself. So no help from other people, maybe a tiny bit here and there, like certain things, okay, you need help, but yeah, to really build something on my own, you know, without anybody interfering with it, you know, like, so yeah.
Every Saturday evenings, where the people of the community make pizzas to basically offer it to the community in some sort. So 200 rupees unlimited pizzas, and those 200 rupees serve us to get lunch or get food or get material to maintain this community, which is again open for the community at large. So it's a circular energy, which is very interesting. You know, it's like those people give us the resource that we put it back into taking care of them.
என் பேர் விஜயலட்சுமி, எடஞ்சாவல்லேருந்து வரேன். 22 வருஷமாக நாங்கள் ஒர்க் பண்ணுறோம். எந்த பிரச்சனையும் இல்லை, ரொம்ப ஜாலியாக இருக்கேன். வர கிச்சன் ஒர்க் பண்ணுறேன், அதை பெருக்குவேன், பாத்ரூம் க்ளீன் பண்ணுவேன், குக் பண்ணுறோம். இப்போ எல்லாமே ஒர்க் பண்ணுறோம்.
Yeah, I'm acting so much already.
வீட்டில் இருக்கிறத விட இங்கே நல்லா பசங்க கூட நல்லா பேச பழக எல்லாமே எனக்கு பிடிச்சிருக்கு, ரொம்ப பிடிச்சிருக்கு.
We have to write the new Marvel. The new Marvel movie. We'll put you also. Okay, finish.
Oh
Take out.
yeah. Oh no.
Yeah.
Victory.
Victory. Yeah.
We did. This is human unity.
And I think YC can be a really important sort of therapy and medicine for our ills in Auroville. And if one of them right today is kind of a lack of community and a bit of a frustration with each other, and maybe we don't know really anybody who's here anymore, YC can be exactly that space where a bunch of strange Aurovillians come together, have a conversation, know each other, meet each other, and we like do some more community events, and we realize that, fuck, we're all on the same page.
Saturday night adventures. All right. Fantastic. Sir. Yeah, I'm coming. I'm here. I'm here. No, I'm sorry. What are you touching me? Who are you? What are you doing?
Come here. I'm the JCB owner.
You're the JCB owner. This is illegal work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you're not going anywhere.
Come here.
I am here. Exactly. I have come here because I am done with this.
One of the big issues that YC has been facing is the fact that it is on the ring road. And there was a big misunderstanding that people don't know happened. We were given a plot of land. We came out here, but the person who told us the plot was not the same person who came and showed the plot. So when the land was cleared and fenced off, then the person in the office was like, oh no, this is not the plot, that's the plot. And we're like, well, are you going to give us the money to, re-fence and re-clean? And they're like, no. And we're like, then deal with it. I mean, we're staying, And I feel bad for the fact that it's created a lot of miscommunication within the community. But to a certain extent, I think that we also need to learn that if we are going to be in working groups, we need to take responsibilities and let bygones be bygones. The road doesn't have to go through YC and doesn't need to stop its progress. I think it's an important thing to mention that we need to support our youth, and this generation here is not responsible for what happened 20 years ago.
Don't do this today, please don't do this today. Your time is over now. Your time is over now.
That's not correct, man.
Hi, good morning. Please work order. No. Very simple. It's not happening like this. No.
Yeah, I try to be receptive about these things, but you know, when the 9th of December happened, when all these people came and pushed us aside and broke down the buildings we considered to be our home, that for me was kind of like, okay, I guess you're not really wanting to go for any consensus or common ground. You have your plan and that's what you want to do. You really don't kind of care about what other people want to do here. This kind of event, it happens, and then whatever happens before it becomes history, you know. But yeah, for me personally, I was here and I knew I'd do anything towards these guys who were pushing me and kicking me, and it's like gonna be a big issue for me but not for them. So all I could do was just stand on the side and try to talk to them about what you guys are doing, you know. This is a place we live. I mean, come on, you don't need to destroy it. Offering tea to them so that they take longer or something, I don't know, but not trying to be violent at all, you know, even though you want to protect something that is important to you and you just don't have the freedom to do it at all. You're just standing on the side and watching.
But what hurt me most is, let's say, when I came in Auroville first time in 1983, I was fascinated about all the energy and attention that Auroville gave at the kids. on education and everything. And for the kids, so stuff like that, I think is really, really, really hard. And I saw kids still be traumatizing for what happens here. And this is something that really go deep on the kids, and so sad again, really sad.
People really want to work on it.
Sooner or later something has to change. And we are super, super confident that something changing better, something better change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we have a blank canvas now, and we can draw
Yeah.
whatever we want.
Yeah.
And we don't spend too much time reminiscing about what was, and we look to the future and inspire each other.
Yeah.
I have a lot of hope. And I think that there's a lot of great things happening here, and that it's going to continue to happen, and that the most important thing is to just keep fighting and keep going and keep doing it.
I guess 1 minute is good enough, no?
Yeah.
How do I get up? Yeah, I think I came that side. Okay, wait.
So also I learned English here, like so to speak with Aurovilians I need to learn English. So whenever I come here I start to talk in English. So it's also good to me.
Okay, where the fuck?
No, not the words. Holy shit.
Whoa!
Holy shit!
That's so cool!
Cute! Oh my god!
Whoa, Maya, get the fuck away!
Lily, no!
2 years back almost I met the love of my life in YC. So I'm very happy to remember YC as the space that actually connected us and got us, we got to meet each other there in the game room. Magic room I would call it. Game magic room. So yeah, that's how I met Batu, which is my partner getting married very soon, and that's a beautiful picture that I have about YC for sure, that I will always keep in my heart.
On April 25th, 2023, Youth Center has got an email from the foundation of Auroville that our annual budget 2023 to 2024 got cut until a new location and a new team gets established.
And why it's like that?
I don't know.
But you don't know. I mean, the youth center is since 25 years, it's true.
True.
And you have a lot of activities there and trainings, and why it's like that?
I don't know what to say.
And it means that they need a new team. And why a new team? Is this team not good here?
Maybe that's what they're thinking.
And what you're doing now?
Now we're trying to find ourselves to find some donation and make some events happen to keep going and to support each other and Auroville as a community. They can change the location and people, but they cannot change the spirit of Youth Center and the people who have been part of it.